Shalom, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, giving all praises, glory, and honor to the Most High God Yahweh, by Shema Mashiach, Wamalak Yahweh Shai. Give a strong shalom to all the brothers and sisters who are doing everything that they got to do to stay 10 toes grounded in this walk, whether it be praying, fasting, studying, exhorting, and whatever you can to make your calling and election sure in these last days. Just doing a quick daily bread, just going into stress, and the things that we stress about, and how it's all vanity for real, man. Like Solomon said in Ecclesiastes 1. Yeah, but I'm going to kick it off with the book of Matthew. I'm actually going to what Yahushua said. And what kind of warranted this video was, I was listening to some music while I was working this morning, and there's a Christian rapper, this brother named Alex Jean. He got this song called Why Would I Stress About That? So you have to literally walk around with that mentality. Why would I stress? What is the point of stressing? Why stress about anything? And then you got to think about, even on top of the why would you stress, the things that we stress about be like nothing for real. Because all this stuff is temporal, man. So I'm going to go to what Yahushua said in Matthew chapter 6, and I'm going to start at verse 21. It said, for where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. Because, a couple verses up, it was going into storing your treasures up in heaven, man. Because the stuff here, all your treasures that you can have here, it's all corrupted. If it's things of metal, it can rust. Thieves can steal the stuff. There are a lot of insects and animals that even destroy things, steal things, like raccoons and stuff like that. They'll go in your trash in the middle of the night. So ain't no point in leaving something worthy sitting out, because anything is liable to happen to it, man. Anytime, anywhere. Everything comes like a thief in the night and can take that away from you, man. So ain't no point in worrying about that. I'm going to read that again. For where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. Because if you got, a high abundance of love for your treasures, that's where your heart going to be at, man. That's what you're going to be meditating on. Verse 22. The light of the body is the eye. If therefore thine eye be single, thy whole body shall be full of light. But if thy eye be evil, thy whole body shall be full of darkness. If therefore the light that is in thee be darkness, how great is that darkness? And, everything comes from what you can see. You don't really stress about things that you just randomly think about. But even, to a deeper extent, like the things that you think about, it's because you've seen it somewhere. It's because it's something that you've seen and you get covetous, you start lusting about it, you get to thinking about it. So don't let that become your life, because that end up becoming nothing but total darkness. Reading on verse 24. No man can serve two masters, for either he will hate the one and love the other, or else he will hold to the one and despise the other. You cannot serve God and mammon. So don't be trying to serve all the treasures of this world. Just worry about the Most High, man. Just focus on the things to come. Our leader, Vanguard Naquan, in the Monday Night Fire this week, he was talking about how he came home and his daughter was in there talking about, the things that she expects in the kingdom. That's what you should have your mindset on. Not the things of this world, the cares of this life, the things that you can see, the things you can touch, smell, taste. And all this stuff is temporal. It don't really mean anything. We've just been duped to think that all these things actually mean something, man. They mean nothing. All your treasures here will be corrupted, like I was going into a minute ago. Verse 25. Therefore I say unto you, take no thought for your life, what ye shall eat, or what ye shall drink, nor yet for your body, what ye shall put on. Is not life more than the meat, and the body and the raiment? And a lot of people, they get to stressing about things that they gonna eat, man. A lot of people, they have a hard time making it through Day of Atonement. Try to tell a brother, hey, you should try fasting on a weekly basis. They be like, man, it gets so hard. It's tough. It's hot outside. I got to work. Hey, you can start thinking about all these things that distract you from the spirit, man. That's why the Lord said, take no thought for your life, or what ye shall eat, or what ye shall drink, or yet what you should put on. There's people that spend a whole week sitting there thinking about what I'm going to wear for the weekend. Going to the store, buying a whole outfit for a damn birthday party. It's madness, man. The things that we care about in this world. read a couple other verses because it's really going on down. You can read really up until about verse 31, kind of going into these things. I'm gonna just read a few. Verse 26: Behold the fowls of the earth, for they sow not, neither do they reap, nor gather into barns, yet your heavenly Father feedeth them. Are ye not much better than they? So birds, they don't, birds are not farmers. They don't be out there making sure that the other animals are taken care of, making sure that there's hay and stuff for the cattle. And that's things that humans do, man. That's things that man do. So the fowls of the earth, they don't reap. They don't sit there and store up even like when you look at squirrels and stuff, they kind of go out there and really be gathering up a bunch of nuts and stuff, man. But once the trees become bare, hey, that time for gathering is over with, man. The harvest is over with. So, but the Lord is going to feed them birds at all times. So, just to read the end of that, he said, are you not much better than they? You don't think that the Lord has his chosen people above the fowls of the air, the beasts of the field, the creeping things? Come on, man. It said in verse 28, drop down a couple. It said, why take ye thought for your raiment? Consider the lilies of the field, how they grow. They toil not, neither do they spin. And yet I say unto you, that even Solomon in all his glory was not arrayed like one of these. And you look at lilies, man, that's one of the most beautiful flowers ever made, man. That's why it's the Lord's favorite flower. And you don't have to sit there and dig up your whole front yard to make lilies, man. Hey, the Lord will just make them kind of appear right there. So why stress about things, man, if the Lord automatically has everything set up from the beginning? If the Lord makes things happen without you having to labor for it, why even stress about it, man? I'm going to drop down to, I'm going to keep reading. Verse 30. Wherefore, if Yahweh so clothe the grass of the field, which today is, and tomorrow is cast into the oven, shall he not much more clothe you, O ye of little faith? And the Lord said you'll have little faith if you sitting there worrying about stuff, man. You want the Lord to come back? You want your house to come back and he's sitting there going, you a little faith, man. Hey, that would hurt. That would hurt for the Lord to say I ain't had no faith in that day. All these works you've been doing, all this time you say you got faith in your house, and then you really don't. Hey, man, the Lord said stop stressing about this stuff, man. I'm going to go to Proverbs 12. Just going into why worries. Only thing you're doing is stressing yourself out if you get to worrying for real. Even if you go to these doctors and stuff, they'll tell you, hey, man, stress will kill you. Worrying about stuff too much, it'll make you give up the ghost, man. Proverbs chapter 12 and verse number 25. Heaviness in the heart of man maketh it stoop, but a good word maketh it glad. Saying, so having heaviness, sitting there worrying, I mean, it'll destroy you, man. You could just see it in somebody's eyes. If they walking around stressing, you can see it in their countenance. You can see it in the way they carry themselves. You can hear it in their voice. Man, that stress, it'll take you down. I'm sure every brother and sister at some point has worried about something to the point where they have to be like, man, this is madness. I have to stop. I have to stop worrying about this. I'm going to read that same verse, Proverbs 12 and 25. I'm going to read it in the GNT. Worry can rob you of happiness. So worrying, you won't have no happiness. It'll rob you, man. It'll, in the ERV, it say worry takes away your joy, but a kind word makes you happy. In the NIV, it say anxiety weighs down the heart. Why be weighed down with the cares of this life when all this stuff is temporal and it don't even mean anything, man? Why even be worried about it? People stress out even about things that aren't physical things, man. Israel get to stressing over just stuff that don't even really mean nothing. I mean, we've all been victim of it. It's not like, we just sit here and just point the finger and try to act like we holier than thou, because we've all been through these things, man. And I'm going to go through one of my favorite verses, Book of Sirach, chapter 3 and verse 21. I'm going to read it in the GNT. So don't try to understand things that are too hard for you, or investigate matters that are beyond your power to know. Concentrate on the law which has been given to you. you do not need to know about things which the Lord has not revealed. So don't concern yourself with them. After all, what has been shown to you is beyond human power to understand. So just focus on the law. Focus on the testimony. Focus on the things to come, man. Focus on the kingdom that is at hand, man. I've been reading Matthew. I can't even tell you how many times that the Lord said, repent ye for the kingdom of heaven is at hand. Stop worrying about the things of this life, man. Everybody trying to seek these deep breakdowns, and you read one thing and it got your mind going. Now you want to debate, and you're stressing yourself out. Man, I've met a numerous amount of people that are in their 20s, man, and they end up having gray hair, stressing themselves out, and it ain't for wisdom. We know that the Lord said gray hair is the wisdom of man. But people be just wearing themselves out, man. Destroying themselves. That's like it said in Ecclesiastes, saying, don't make yourself overwise. You're going to destroy yourself. Don't make yourself over wicked. You're going to destroy yourself. And worrying is a wicked thing for real, man. Stay away from doing that kind of stuff. I'm going to go to Sirach again. This time I'm going to go to chapter 11. Because that's the beautiful thing about these scriptures, is it gives you the blueprint of how to make it day by day. It gives you the blueprint on how to get through this life without basically just what people in the world say, go crazy, man. You be like, we all victims of it. I've even said it recently, had to kind of repent of it because our words got power. You be like, oh my goodness, this is making me go insane. And then you have to think, no, man, the Lord gave you a sound mind. Like it's 2 Timothy 1:7, man. I'm going to go to Sirach chapter 11. I'm going to start at verse number 10. Actually, I'm going to start at 9. Because it's another thing that our people even get to worrying about, man. Stuff that don't concern thee. Stuff that you ain't got no business even being a part of. And you just jumping into it. Trying to make yourself relevant. Trying to show the little wisdom you got. Or like the world say, want to put in your 2 cents. Hey, man, that stuff going to turn around and bite you in the behind. Book of Sirach, chapter 11 and verse 9. Strive not in the matter that concerneth thee not, and sit not in judgment with sinners. And so don't be like the people of the world, man. You don't want to sit there and tell you got the tea, or what's the one lady from In Living Color back in the day. A lot of younger people might not get that reference, but it was a lady on there that used to sit there and be out the window of her apartment just gossiping. And then at the end of the gospel, she'd be like, but you ain't heard from me. And that's off, man. Strive not in the matter that concerneth thee not. You see two people arguing. Hey, if they ain't getting to the point where they at blows and, kind of endangering one another, hey, man, let them sort that out. Don't try to just step in and be in the middleman. I've seen that happen plenty of times, and, when people about to get into it, and you step in the middle, and you didn't made somebody even more mad than they was at first, and then you end up getting hit instead of the other person. Now you laying on your back pockets, all because you striving in a matter that didn't concern you, man. And that's the judgment of being with sinners, like it said in the end of that verse. Verse number 10, my son, meddle not with many matters, for if thou meddle much, thou shalt not be innocent. And if thou follow after, thou shalt not obtain, neither shalt thou escape by fleeing. So you don't want to meddle in many matters, man. If they meddle much, then you won't be found innocent. You're going to have to answer for them things that you did, all because you was meddling in stuff that ain't had no business with you. Don't worry about what's going on with this world, man. The devil know that he got a short time. Time is almost up. All you have to do is just worry about the Lord, man. That's all you got to do. Simple as that. And I'm gonna go to one more a closing precept here. Dropping down to verse 21. Marvel not at the works of sinners, but trust in the Lord and abide in thy labor. For it is an easy thing in the sight of the Lord on a sudden to make a poor man rich. It said, don't worry about the things of this world. That's stuff the sinners do, worrying. You're going off if you're worrying. If that's all you're doing is just stressing yourself out, and man, you sitting in a seat with sinners, man. Trust in the Lord. Abide in your own labor, man. That is a labor. Not stressing, trusting in the Lord, that is a labor. That is one of those works that you'll be justified for in these last days, man. But with that, I'm hoping that Israel was edified and got something to meditate on, man. Because we all need just exhortation. Yeah, there's plenty of breakdowns. Yeah, there's plenty of doctrines to cut on a daily basis. But we need exhortation just on how to get through day to day, man. So I hope that Israel can apply these things and keep going, keep growing, and enduring to the end. With that, giving all praises, glory, and honor to the Most High God Yahweh, by Hashem Mashiach Yahweh Shai. Shalom.